Welcome in our fantasy friends. We are the Fantasy Friends Podcast, episode 31 coming at you. We called it No Stats, No Problem. NFL on the fly, baby. Running fly routes. What's up, Jason? How you doing, brother?
Living strong, not as strong as this man. Where's he at?
Ooh,
Where is he at?
there he is.
Good God, making a fool of everybody.
I never noticed how much he sounds like Nicolas Cage, though. And I hope that no one can unhear it now.
Man, Nicolas Cage is going to play Aaron Rodgers in a really good movie one day.
He's too old, isn't he?
Yeah, we'll have to wait. It'll be an end of life story.
Gotcha. A whole biopic. I don't know how they're actually supposed to say
Brady's playing until 45, so Rodgers is going to play to 60.
Oh yeah, perfect. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm good with that. Either way. All right, so we do have an awesome show for you. We call it On the Fly because we're not breaking down any craziness. Anthony jumping in here. Good evening, fantasy friends. What's going on, Anthony? Good to see you, my friend, my fantasy friend. We're just covering some topical stuff tonight. That's how Jason and I started this podcast back in, gosh, I don't know, 31 episodes ago.
31 episodes
but we just talked about the NFL stuff, like playoff pictures, any sort of thing like that. We're not breaking down any fantasy positions or anything like that. It's been a wild day. It's been a wild, probably, 3 or 4 days, Jason, of NFL news.
Yeah, it feels like it really picked up yesterday. I'm actually lining this back right now. This is how live action you guys are getting this. I'm winding this back to the Odell Beckham news yesterday because I feel like that was the beginning. Like it broke open all the player news. Like what was that? Yeah, literally 24 hours ago. So
Gladys jumping in here saying, "No mustache. I am too concerned with your facial hair." Yeah, my wife I shaved the mustache. It was getting on my nerves. It was like going over my lip and stuff. And I don't know, it was just getting on my nerves. So I shaved it, and then my wife's like, "You look really weird." I was like, "Oh, thanks, babe. I appreciate that so much." So my self-esteem is ruined along with my mustache, but that's all right.
So your wife likes that mustache?
She does, actually. Legit. She's a weirdo. I swear. Hey, man, I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not going to say anything else. What happened with Odell? I don't think I saw that.
Oh,
I don't really care about him too much.
Passed his physical. No worries.
Got you.
Injury-free.
Perfect. Heck yeah. Good. Well, you just traded a first for him, right?
Well, okay. That circumstantial. I'm trying to win this year because I know I'm screwed if I don't.
That's a fair point, man. Yeah, we'll qualify that and say that. Yeah, I made a trade that was actually like the fantasy calculator, dynasty trade calculator didn't like it. It was like Cortland Sutton and a 2022 first for Keenan Allen, but I'm in the same position as Jason. Like I finished 2 years in a row now. I will not finish second again. I'm getting first, or I'm just going to blow my team up halfway through the season.
And one of these leagues we're both in, so
yeah, we are.
We're literally racing to the death right now.
We are. It's a death race. But man, we can't start anywhere. We can't start anywhere except at the top. The man right behind you, the man that sounds like Nicolas Cage, Aaron Rodgers, man. I don't know how many of y'all saw that. All I saw was 4 minutes of the press conference. What did you get a chance to watch all of it, Jason?
I watched a lot of it. At this point, I think I watched over 10 minutes. I think it's 20 minutes in all. So we definitely might have to go back and look at a few things. But the number one thing that jumped off the page to me, and you were talking to me about it before we started streaming here, he obviously wanted to have a lot to do with it. When he says, I wanted to have a lot to do with the decisions that directly affect my job. That was the way he put it out. But for me, what was so huge was the fact that he literally came out and listed every player who he was upset about them cutting or not offering a contract to. And in each situation, if I understood him correctly, I don't want to misquote, but if I understood him correctly, I'm pretty sure, because I just watched it, that he said that it was like 20 players, all huge locker room guys, all huge talents on the field, weren't offered a contract at all to come back. I don't know if you saw that part or not.
I did. Yeah, that was in the first couple minutes of it. And yeah, you're right, man. He literally named everybody. James Jones, freaking Julius Peppers, like all these different players. So yeah, man. I mean, it's kind of what we all speculated from the beginning, right? We thought he was upset because, well, it's kind of a combination, I guess. He felt probably disrespected by the Jordan Love pick. But the fact that they weren't letting him make, not want to say make decisions, but at least, like he said, it affects his job. Why would you not want to? Does Tom Brady get to make personnel not decisions, but he gets to go out there and really talk to his management? And what happened? I think they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, Arians. I love it about Bruce Arians too, because you can see it's written all over him. He's so like sly about what he says in interviews. He's like, "Oh, it's Tom's team." Yeah. This guy knows he's just sitting back and collecting. I mean, he's got a job to do after Brady leaves, but for the time being, I mean, he's just riding along. McCarthy should have shut the fuck up. Excuse my language, but he should have just shut up and let Rodgers go. He would be looking a lot better than where he's at right now. No offense.
Offense very much taken. No, I'm just playing. But no, he said it. He said a couple, tighten up. He said a couple things, man, that really just it seems like he wants that Tom Brady situation. He said, obviously, he said something about not being able to recruit. He said, "Let me help you recruit. People want to come here to play with me." That was kind of snooty on his part, but it's true though. I mean, he is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He also mentioned that Green Bay is not necessarily a vacation destination. That's to me is a direct direct correlation to how Tampa Bay is a vacation destination. But I mean, why not? Why wouldn't you want your best player, your probably, I won't say the best player in franchise history, but one of, why wouldn't you want him being happy? It's situational. I mean, would you said, I've heard you say this before, you can't let the inmates run the asylum.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about this particular situation then?
Well, there's people who work for you or serve a singular purpose, and then there's people who make your company operate. And Aaron Rodgers very much makes your entire company operate. If the Green Bay Packers are a typical American corporation, he's your senior vice president of operations. Man is making shit happen. Okay.
Yeah.
So everybody above him is just, is a guy sitting in an office somewhere. So you have to treat them that way. There are obviously worker bees. There are, your special teams guys. I'm not trying to hate on any position in NFL, because you have to be a ridiculous athlete, a stupid
1% of 1% of 1%,
superhuman athlete to be in the NFL. So I'm not trying to undercut anything, but there are guys who serve very singular purposes, and then there are guys who make the whole thing go. And Aaron Rodgers makes the whole thing go. And I just think that when you get a guy like that, you have to be something's got to give. Did Peyton Manning make decisions in Indianapolis? I don't know, but he ran the whole damn offense. Something, you see, like you have to give these guys something.
Yeah, and I think me saying make decisions was a bad turn of phrase. It was more like just allow their input to resonate with the management team. Aaron Rodgers knows a hell of a lot more about football than whatever that I don't know how to pronounce his last name, the GM for the Packers. You know what I mean?
Right.
He obviously knows a lot more about football than this guy. So just keep let him, and the track record of Green Bay as well. The track record of just why are they not getting this man help?
Yeah.
In the NFC Championship because they don't get the man any help.
Well, when you hear, so if you're our age, we're in our early 30s. If you're our age, okay, so we all saw what happened to Brett Favre.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What really resonated with me in the Rodgers interview earlier was the very first name that came off the board, Charles Woodson.
Mm.
No offer at all. Not even an offer. Julius Peppers couldn't get an offer. Clay Matthews couldn't get an offer. I mean, I understand when we talk about guys, when you talk about your wide receivers, especially aging wide receivers, we talk about aging running backs, certain players, defensive line guys, certain things I understand, but like Hall of Famers, it's kind of hard not to side with Aaron Rodgers. It's hard not to understand where he's coming from.
Absolutely. And like I said, the track record, yes, sure, they've been a very successful team. That's been on the back of Aaron Rodgers. And their defense is good too. Don't get me wrong on that. Yeah. I think they've drafted well defensively. But the fact that they've gone 2 years, they got Amari Rodgers in the third round, who, cool, I guess, but you had a chance to trade up. Instead of trading up to get Jordan Love, You had a chance to trade up to get maybe Justin freaking Jefferson
Yeah.
last year's draft. That's just negligent, man. Like it really is. And was this? I spoke. I didn't argue. Me and a guy had a conversation on Twitter
Okay.
about whether this is attention seeking, what this was. I will concede. Yes, this was a little bit attention seeking on Aaron Rodgers' part. They probably could have handled it a little better out of the media, but that's what we want in the offseason of the NFL. We crave, we need some sort of drama and some sort of news. And I think Aaron Rodgers is just a savvy, smart guy, and no publicity is bad publicity in a certain way. But do you think he was a little attention seeking, or could he have handled this in like how else could he have handled this?
Not at all. I don't think he's attention seeking at all. This is what I'm going to say. He wasn't calling up people every day and going, "You guys want to know about what I'm thinking today? You guys want to know what I'm thinking today?" No, they were harassing him, and he gave very vague answers because he didn't want to give. He didn't want to talk. But one thing you can say about that, Rodgers kind of prolonged things by not really addressing it. But after what I watched earlier, you can't say he left any stone unturned. I mean, he answered every question he's been hearing all summer long, but he waited until he got a freaking contract. Okay, that he waited till he got what he wanted to see in ink. You know.
Yeah.
So it's like we said last week when I was convinced that he wasn't coming back. The one thing I did say to this point is that if he had gone anywhere else, it would be such an uphill battle that Green Bay was the only place he could go right here, right now, if he wants to win this year. This was the only destination. So it makes sense that he did come back to the Packers, but I don't think anyone could argue at any point now that after getting, renegotiated contract, getting what he wants in ink, getting Randall Cobb coming back already, I just don't see how anybody could fault him for anything that happened this summer or say he's attention seeking or whatever. The man literally said a whole lot of nothing and got a whole lot done in his favor.
Yeah, agree. I mean, and like we said earlier, he is the, what do you call him, the vice president of operations or whatever.
Yeah.
He deserves he's earned. I want to say the word deserve. He has earned the right to be involved in decisions that affect his job. His job affects their jobs, and he's a lot better at his job than they are at theirs. That's my personal opinion. But you mentioned Randall Cobb, so that's a pretty good segue here. Rodgers got his dude, right? He's an old veteran presence that he played with for quite a few years in Green Bay. It's going to be his age 31 season, Randall Cobb, that is. Houston gets a 6th-round pick. They're actually paying $3 million of his $8.25 million salary this season. Like, I don't know. That's, to me, like, Houston's just like, we need to lose every game. We want nothing done. What are your initial thoughts on this trade?
Yeah, Houston knows they're in for hell. But I love it. I love it. I think that's just Green Bay saying, hey, okay, we did embarrass him a whole bunch of times. Here's our humility. Let's go win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I don't think Randall Cobb is like a real poignant piece to winning a Super Bowl, but Aaron Rodgers' morale and happiness is.
And think about what he said earlier. Locker room guys.
Absolutely. And I've never heard anybody say a bad word about Randall Cobb as far as his leadership on and off the field. To me, I just had one quick fantasy kind of tidbit for that. Brandon Cooks. He is the only person there. I get Anthony Miller out of my face. I don't care. David Johnson, get him out of my face. I don't care. Who the hell else? We got Nico Collins. He's there. So, hey, man, in Dynasty, maybe throw a little offer out there for Nico, for Collins, I should say. But, I mean, Brandon Cooks, I wrote about him a little bit earlier this year. I freaking love him so much. It's a trash team that's going to have to throw the ball pretty much for 4 quarters straight. So, Is he going to score a lot? Maybe not, but volume is going to be there for him.
News is still pouring in, Eric.
What you got?
Oh man, you don't want to get to this one first.
It better not be something about Dak. I will cry.
It is.
God bless America. Did he hurt his shoulder?
Yeah.
What happened?
Multiple week injury. We don't know how many weeks he's
Okay.
going to miss, but
Well, I'm not going to cry on the pod.
I'm just seeing as they're coming in. I'm checking them all as they're coming in. But odd. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's jump across the NFL.
Okay.
Definitely into the AFC. How about you explain to me this Xavier Howard business?
Oh, got you. So he came out, I think it was Tuesday, so the July 27th, which was yesterday actually. Mm-hmm. He had a statement out on social media, basically saying that him and his agent have brought multiple different situations up with Miami to where that was cap friendly. But basically, he wants to get paid more. That's the number one thing. He wants to get paid more. He's mad that he mentioned it in there. He's the second highest paid cornerback on his own team. Granted, he's right behind Byron Jones there, but I mean, he was ranked by PFF as the number 2 corner in 2020, led the league in interceptions, passes defended, all sorts of things. But I mean, Lord have mercy. Sorry, my daughter typed on my show sheet here. But like I said, but the funniest thing was what I wanted to bring up to you because it cracked me up. He's like, until we get something done, I will be here just so I don't get fined, and I will be a professional.
Oh man, well you gotta love that because it's Raheem Morris, right? No. God, what is that?
Oh, Brian Flores.
Brian Flores. Hell yeah, Brian Flores, man. You're damn right. You're going to be a professional. You had an option.
He could probably still take him. I think.
Yeah, don't play with him.
No.
You didn't have an option.
But
you were going to be a professional.
Do you think he gets some like a Jalen Ramsey deal somewhere? Because
no,
I mean I don't think so either. He's going to be 20 or he's just turned 20. Yeah, he just turned 28 like 2 months ago or something like that. He's got a couple more years left. He's in the middle of his prime. Love that. But I mean, Jalen got a 5-year, $100 million deal. He's not getting that type of money from anybody, I don't think.
There's a lot of young guys around the NFL too right now who are great. And
yes,
you know what I'm thinking is he'll easily wind up on a team who's going for a Super Bowl run now. They'll say, okay, let me get the guy in his prime. We'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and let this go down. I mean, hell, I could see Tennessee doing it. I really could, but
what's
3
funny?
young guys.
That's the first team I thought of when I saw this. I was like, ooh, but I don't know what y'all's cap situation looks like. It's just going to be hard for him, in my opinion, because the cap is so much lower than it has been, and we all know the cap is going up in 2022. Right. So, I mean, I don't think he's. Yeah, I was like, I don't think he's going to sit out. He doesn't want to. I mean, if he's that concerned about the money piece of it, he's not going to lose a whole bunch of money, and it would just be a bad business decision, in my opinion, to sit out this year because put some more stuff on tape. But I don't know, man.
I just want to reiterate for a second, like fucking go Brian Flores. Go Brian Flores. Like, dude, like, have you ever seen a player put something like that out?
No, not really. I mean, you get it kind of after the fact, after it's already been drama, you know?
Yeah.
But this was out of the blue as far as I know.
Yeah, and then ends with, but I will play and be professional. Like,
yeah.
That just tells you how that man runs that team. And you can see it.
Yep. It was almost an immediate turnaround when he got there. I mean, so, yeah, he's the sixth highest paid quarterback in corner in the NFL now. Yeah. So I'm like, what else do you want, bro? Like
he's going to have to chill, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I'm my talents, yada, yada. Like, I totally get it. But, I mean, it was one thing in this statement that I thought was just kind of silly. He was like, I signed an extension that I didn't completely understand at the time. And I'm like, dude, don't do that. Like, you had an agent back then.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, bro?
Yeah,
but
I can't.
I don't know. I don't think he's going anywhere personally. You got any hot news? Or are we going to move on?
We got plenty. We got plenty. So let's start with a few here. I'm going to jump into this one. This was one of my favorite ones I've heard. Jets QB Zach Wilson is not on the field as practice gets underway. Mike White and James Morgan combined 0 regular season attempts are taking snaps. Not great. Come to
I
find
saw
out,
that.
he's still having to negotiate for bonuses and different
Again,
incentives. And this exact same thing happened with Sam Darnold. So the Jets, being the Jets, don't want their quarterback at practice because they don't want to pay him money.
there. Good God, this organization, man. Now I saw that right before I came on. I was like, it has to be a money situation. I was thinking it was a money situation, but
Yep. Incentives
Lord,
and bonuses. Like,
yeah.
oh, you worried he's going to be good for? Are you worried your draft pick worked for once? Like, are you worried that you were competent one time? Is that what you're worried
Oh,
about? Like, come
so
on,
stupid. You just got a little TikTok legend throw god action right there.
dude. It just kills me. Like, oh, well, we just think he might score too many times. We
Yeah.
can't give him that.
He's gonna start too many games. Like, what are you,
Yeah, like, what
talking
the?
about?
It's
Just give
just,
the man some incentive. Like, I would incentive laden all the contracts. It's
yeah,
just good business. Like,
yeah,
but this is
dude.
the New York Jets we're talking about here. We're
Right.
getting confused. We got confused for a second, but Lord have
Poor
mercy,
Robert Saleh. What a waste of.
dude. Maybe he can come in and turn some stuff around because I mean Miami was pretty bad for a while too. So okay, I want to hit one real quick that I
All
really
right.
really like. So did you see the drama with Sean Payton talking
No.
about? We talked a little bit about it before here. So he was so he sounds. I'll just kind of read off what I saw. So he sounds extremely disappointed in the timing of Michael Thomas's his ankle surgery. He knew his ankle was jacked up at the end of the season last year, and he didn't get anything done until June, knowing full and well knowing that surgery has a 12 to 16 week recovery timetable. So somebody asked him, somebody asked Sean Payton. This is where I want to get your speculation because this is wild to me. It says someone asked if there was a lack of communication between all parties involved. Sean Payton simply replied, "Nope, I'm going to leave it at that." What does that even mean? Does that mean Michael Thomas is like, you know what? I'm just going to get surgery when I feel like it?
You know what? If I had to guess, just looking around me, trying to be a reasonable person here. Well, I'd ask a lot of people: have you tried to get a doctor's appointment? Have you tried to get a dentist appointment? Have you tried to get a DMV appointment? Have you tried to get any kind of appointment since COVID-19? Because it just don't happen like that anymore. So if I had to speculate, if I had to really throw my first take on it out there, just based on what you just said to me, like, it's totally realistic that he'd be on a wait list. Maybe not, because he's a millionaire. I don't know how millionaire doctors work, but it could have been other concerns with him as well. Like maybe he truly thought he would just heal on his own. Maybe he was trying some Eastern medicine. Maybe he was, seeing some kind of other specialist.
That would be my guess. That was my first thought when I saw it. I was like, maybe he was trying some he didn't. Well, obviously, you don't want to you don't want to be cut open if you don't have to be cut open. But maybe that's something that happened. But typically, when these situations happen, they're almost like owned, if you will, by the team doctors. Like they're going to tell you this is what you have to do. So unless he has something, I mean, I'm not super familiar with that, how that all works. But I would say, Jason, you probably hit the nail on the head there. He probably just had some sort of. He's like, no, I'm gonna not heal naturally by any means, but he's gonna try and not go the surgery route and do different stuff to. But it didn't end up working out in the end for him, or for fantasy managers, or for the Saints. Who the hell is starting at wide receiver for this team?
I have no idea.
Marquez Callaway, Traquan Smith.
I guess Traquan Smith.
Dude, get that trash out of here, man.
Somebody get Dez Bryant.
Oh God, he's like, I think who was it? Ocho Cinco, Chad Johnson said he said better shape than 90% of the folks in the league right now. He could come in and start right away at X, baby.
Get Terrell Owens, Chad Johnson, and Dez Bryant on the same field.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, let's do it.
They would be that would be the oldest receiving core in the history of the NFL.
They might clean up a little bit.
Against the freaking Falcons, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right, so that's all I got as far as with that situation there.
So I've got several
What you got?
things here. Here's my first one, and this is just for hopefully the few and the proud fantasy friends that we do have, which my browser doesn't show if we have anyone.
We have 3 people. Right, it says 3 people right now.
Okay, so for anyone who watches, for anyone who actually watches us and has heard me plead all my cases about Jalen Hurts, you'll be excited to know that Jalen Hurts' first throw of training camp was a touchdown to Miles Sanders. Give me some love. I've been talking about it. The connection was clearly there. I gave you statistics. 17 points a game for Miles Sanders. 32 points a game for Jalen Hurts when they played on the same field 100% of snaps. First throw of training camp. He knew where he wanted to go. I love it.
But did you take into account that he was playing against the Philadelphia Eagles defense?
No,
dude, that's encouraging though.
Yeah, all I need to know is he's looking his way.
Yeah. Oh, just a quick update. I don't know if you saw it, Jason, but Jason and I were talking at the beginning of the episode. You know, when you're in a dynasty league and you're at kind of the precipice of winning a championship, you just go all out. You kind of sell out for stuff. Did you see the trade that was just made?
In our dynasty?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, I hate you.
Yep. So I picked up, and so I'll tell you, I'm huge on Marvin Jones this year. For anybody who doesn't know, he's like wide receiver 53 or something crazy like that, going off boards. He's going to be the wide receiver 1 on that team. DJ Chark can get out of my face. I do like DJ Chark, but I think Marvin Jones is probably more talented, even at his advanced age.
Yeah.
So Marvin Jones, I got Marvin Jones. I traded Christian Kirk. Get out of my face. He's trash. Jalen Hurd, and then a 2022 second round pick. More than happy with that. And especially to see Jason react to it live with such sadness and emotion, it makes me feel even better.
Yeah, I think he thought Jalen Hurd was Jalen Hurts.
Is that what happened? He's gonna hit me up and be like, "Man, we're gonna have to swap this trade." I'm like, "No, I don't think so, buddy."
Oh, the Jets, Eric, the Jets. Elijah Moore is running with the second team, so they don't want their starting quarterback at camp, and they don't want their highest chosen and selected second round pick, right?
Yeah,
they don't want
second round.
So they don't want their first round pick at camp, and they don't want their second round pick with the ones.
They probably like, he's a second round pick, so that means he's got to play with the second team.
Yeah,
like
Jesus
that's
Christ.
Literally that's the level of thinking. If there are any Jets fans they're gonna listen to this, they're never gonna listen again. But yeah, can we not talk about the Jets anymore? Actually, I hope
they don't show up again. I mean,
I saw 2 other things on the Jets. Chris Herndon was the second tight end for them in practice. Makes sense. He's kind of from what I've seen, he struggled to pick up the playbook. He's struggled to stay healthy. And then what was it? Michael Carter running with the first team.
Yeah. The one guy that they seem to be high on.
They were like, "Oh, we took him in the 4th round. Let's see what happened." No, somebody tried to convince me to trade them. Michael Carter, because he's got who's the hell's the other guy? Tevin Coleman, because they have Tevin Coleman on the roster, and that's kind of the predicted starter right now.
Yeah.
For the Jets, I was like, no. Because it's Michael Carter. Like, get out of my face with that trash.
Right. Lamar Jackson tests positive for COVID-19.
Didn't he test positive like this time last year too?
I thought he was one, but
he be in the club, man.
A lot of people did.
He was in the club, no mask on, not washing his hands. Lord.
Oh, this is my favorite story of the day.
Oh God.
So Devontae Adams had his according to spectators and news people, he had his first injury scare of the day, but several people from inside, the practice, several people who were able to observe, whether they be with the organization or not, claim it was just a hit to the penis.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Is that really what they said?
So my man's got nut checked, and the freaking Wisconsin Journal is like, he's hurt. He's hurt.
He squished his dick.
It's all downhill from here.
Oh, no. For the record, that doesn't feel good.
No,
it doesn't. So I got one for us here.
All right.
So Howie Roseman, Philadelphia Eagles GM, says he expects Zach Ertz to be on the roster in Week 1. During Week 1, whatever you say. Give me a percentage if that happens. Of that happening, I should say.
I don't know why they would want it to at this point, but 20?
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you, man. Like 15,
I want
20.
Goddard on the field. Man's trying to make some cheddar.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Goddard is clearly the better tight end at this point in their careers as well. What team is there a team that you would like to see Zach Ertz go to? And you can't say the Titans. You can't say the Titans.
Well, that was it. But
no, it kind of is though, man. Like, but you have to be a really good run blocker to play tight end for the Titans. Even though John Smith is kind of like
not necessarily. I would say that Derrick Henry, he just
walks on water.
He makes holes. Yeah. I don't think John was that talented. I don't think Delaney Walker, once upon a time, was talented.
God.
Those last few years, I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anybody else. I mean, obviously, Houston could use anyone.
At this point, yeah. I think the Colts connection is there with Frank Reich and Carson Wentz. I could see that, and they don't really have. I don't know. I mean,
that would suck. Actually, I hope that
Jack Doyle has been there forever and underwhelming fantasy managers forever.
Yeah,
Mo Alley Cox is there. They don't inspire a lot of confidence. So, yeah, no. I wouldn't mind seeing that at all.
Swinging back to Davante Adams, wants to be the highest paid receiver in the league.
Yep, said he's earned it.
Won't sign a deal unless he gets it. So who's signing him next year? What's the early projection? Who's signing him next year as the highest paid receiver in football?
I mean, at 29 years old too, like not a spring chicken.
Right.
I mean, the Raiders have been speculated about. They don't really have anybody. You know who would be awesome? Like, honest to God, I would love to see it. The Ravens. I would love to see the Ravens get him. I know that they got Rashad Bateman, but like, you know what I'm saying? You got to keep throwing darts at a position of need like that. And Davante Adams, he's kind of a possession receiver there. He's going to help you out for sure.
Yeah,
but who do I think he'll be? If he just wants to be the highest paid receiver and he doesn't really care about like winning championships, I would say, Las Vegas.
So here's some amazing stuff right here. As of right now, next year, who will have the most cap space as of right now? Indianapolis, number 1 with $127 million. Pittsburgh, number 2 with $133 million, or 133 spent. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong number. Cap space. Okay, Indy, $81 million. Pittsburgh, $74. The Jets, $70. Miami, $61. Washington, $60. Denver, $51. So Las Vegas is up there. They have $48 million to play with. But you know what? Sometimes when you want to be the highest paid, that's when you end up on teams like New York or Miami.
Jets, yeah. I mean, Miami just brought in a whole bunch of receivers. So I don't think they really need that per se. But somebody I'm looking at up the top, the Colts. Dude, the Colts could definitely use a wide receiver because T.Y. Hilton is probably gone after this season. I imagine he's looked a little worse for wear the last couple seasons. Mm-hmm. Michael Pittman, I like Michael Pittman, but if you have a chance to get a Davante Adams type, you kind of, especially if Carson Wentz actually revitalizes his career this season, you could do a lot worse. You could do
There's no reason to think he won't.
It's Carson Wentz, man. I just get worried.
Yeah.
Red-headed quarterbacks don't have a good track record.
No.
I guess Carson Palmer was okay, though. Was he red-headed?
Yeah, he was.
He's a ginger.
He was slightly ginger. Carson Palmer pisses me off because, he had some good years. And then he went to Bruce Arians and was like really good for a short period of time. But
yeah,
he's
it was a late career like flash.
If he was that great, he would have won something when he had the opportunity in Arizona. All right, Amon Ross St. Brown looks surprisingly polished for a rookie during the early portions of the offseason program. Proof we should be scouts for the Detroit Lions because
I said it.
How are you excited? I mean, how are you surprised by this? This is something we've known for months.
Yeah, he's talented. I love him. In Dynasty, man, he was going around like the end of the second round too, in like the rookie draft like season, if you want to call it that.
Yeah,
I like him, and he's honestly one of those. He is the dark horse rookie wide receiver for me to have almost. I won't say a Justin Jefferson like thing because I don't think Jared Goff is as good as Kirk Cousins to get him the ball that much. They don't have the running game like Minnesota did either, but he is a dark horse to be. I mean, he could legit be like a borderline, like I would say like a top 25. Like he could be like 25-ish. Because who else is getting targets? Him and TJ Hawkinson. DeAndre Swift, I guess, too. But I don't know, man. We'll see. He might be in the best position of any rookie wide receiver to kind of break out. Jalen Waddle's got a lot of competition in Miami. I mean, I guess Devontae Smith. But
we talked about that.
Dude, yeah, Jalen Hurts is going to have to really wow me with his passing for me to have any faith in Devontae Smith.
Yeah, I mean, it starts with Hurts, and then you got 11 unfavorable matchups, so out of 17. So
there you go. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, we highlighted that for everybody. It's terrible.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
40 points, 50 points.
Jamar Chase, man. And you know what? I just say they just need to give him a ton of end arounds. Just let the man run out of the backfield. He'll be an amazing rookie of the year.
It's just another reason for Mixon fans to be upset or to be like, no, see what happened was Jamar Chase got all the carries. No, what happened was Joe Mixon is a disappointment. So there you go.
Right.
I'm looking at this Dak thing. Could miss a few weeks with a shoulder injury, excuse me. Man, that's crazy. He was so durable. Like he didn't miss any games until last season. So that's wild. But I mean, you kind of think once you pick up one injury, you compensate some way or another. I know it was his ankle, so the shoulder doesn't make a lot of sense. But at the same time,
it was originally called a muscle strain. So maybe 2 days he'll be back probably.
Okay. God, I hope so. I can't take another season without Dak.
So here's an injury. It's interesting. Kenyon Drake was put on the non-football injury list.
I saw that.
Yeah. So we got to keep some special attention here. At first, when I saw it, I thought, oh, he's injured. Well, I know a lot of Josh Jacobs guys would be breathing a little bit easier, but it might be something to watch. Yeah,
we'll see, man. I still, both of them worry me. Just if they're both healthy, they're kind of cannibalize each other's touches. Exactly. But also, I mean, it seems like Las Vegas was like, you know what? We had an okay run blocking unit at offensive line last season. We don't want that. Let's go ahead and get rid of those guys. We don't need that. So that worries me a little bit. It worries me for Derek Carr too. He's not great under pressure. So
not at all.
Yeah. Speaking of the Las Vegas Raiders, it says Henry Ruggs gained 13 pounds. Wants to be physical.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, your greatest strength was you were quick and fast.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. I mean, it was going to be physical with their kneecaps. I mean, they go play for Detroit, start biting kneecaps.
You guys are haters. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you that Detroit's going to surprise a few teams this year. They're still going to be like probably the second worst team in the NFL. But Dan Campbell, he's going to come in. He's going to change that culture. Nobody likes the rah-rah guys anymore. I thought this was America.
I like Jared Goff.
Why?
Because you'll see. He's gonna make lemonade.
Oh, he's gonna make a what is it? A chicken salad out of chicken shit.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard that before?
Yeah, chicken salad out of chicken shit. Speaking of chicken shit, Tagovailoa, or Tagovailoa,
Tagovailoa.
Tagovailoa uncorks one a solid 50 to 60 yards in the air. Touchdown to Albert Wilson. The whole practice field erupts. I could
I
give
like
a
that.
shit less. That
You
guy.
really don't like Tua at all.
No.
And that's so funny coming from you because you are legitimately the quarterback apologist of like me, you, Cam, like you and Keith, who's been on here 2 or 3 times. He's also a quarterback apologist. But what is it about him you don't like?
Tua?
Yeah.
I've never seen him really throw it on the field. And you know what? Here's the thing. So here's the biggest issue. We went from Fitzpatrick airing shit out to Tua scrambling around, getting himself way behind the line of scrimmage, making really slow decisions.
They call that dueling with Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I just didn't see a lot when Tua took over. I just didn't see a guy moving the ball on the field like I did with Fitzpatrick. So I don't think he was ready. Maybe this is one of those year 2 explosion guys. It's possible. But, man, I don't know. I know people –
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I know people saw him do miracles in Alabama. I know that. But
it's just weird, man. You've been the guy that's been the COVID apologist, not apologist, but you know what I mean? Like these rookies didn't get a full, off season because of COVID. And you would think with the quarterback position, that might be, a full off season is probably the most important for them. They have arguably the hardest job in football. So it's funny to hear you say that. Now, if you compare him to Ryan Fitzpatrick, of course, he was not. If they really wanted to be like a playoff team, they should have kept Ryan Fitzpatrick in there. I'm not sure what the pressure was to put Tua in. I know they took him high, but who gives a shit? Like, you're winning games. Like,
his play reminded me of Dwayne Haskins in Washington. They had about the same outcome.
Ooh, yeah, that's not a good comp at all, is it?
Nope.
Well, it's just like. So I was going to say this, man. The PFF podcast talks. They've said it the best way that I know how to say it. They talk about these Alabama quarterbacks that they don't have to play. They don't have to throw into tight windows because their receivers and everybody on their team is so much better than the other team. They have to throw into tight windows in the NFL because everybody is Alabama caliber essentially. Yeah. So they just talk about it. Make it some It's gonna be a process. It legit's gonna be a process for him if he ever figures out how to do that. Now give him Jalen Waddle, Will Fuller, 2 freaking speed demons there, and Devontae Parker is a very good but contested catch guy. So he has no excuse. Let's put it that way. Hold on, we got a question here from Anthony. If the Rams decide to not look to the veteran running back market to fill out their room, how good of a replacement will Henderson be for Cam Akers? Thank you for the question, Anthony. Jason, I'll give you the first crack at that. And he's talking for fantasy purposes, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Hey man, I think we put him in the back half, 18 to 20 is where I put the ADP. You probably want him at RB 18 to 20.
I don't mind that at all either. I think he's probably 75 to 80% of what Cam Akers was going to do. Maybe more on the 75% side because someone's going to be there to share the load with him a bit. Sean McVay already said that, hey, it's never been a talent thing about Darryl. I don't know is it Darrell or Daryl? Do you know?
I think it's Daryl.
I think, okay. Anyways, so Darrell Henderson, it's never been a talent thing. It's always just been let's try and keep him healthy thing. Mm-hmm. So it sounds like McVay doesn't think he can kind of carry a full 275. That's full nowadays. 275 carry workload. But yeah, Anthony, to answer your question, to me, I think you're going to get about 75% of what Cam Akers would have done. So to me, Cam Akers, I think I had it projected out for like close to 20 opportunities per game, and opportunities being carries plus targets. So just times 0.75, whatever that is. And I think Anthony's actually a teacher. So he probably knows that off the top of his head. Yeah. But whatever that is, I would say that's what he's looking at per game. A little less efficiency than Cam Akers as well. But I think he's definitely – Jason, you said 18 to 20?
I said RB 18 to 20
Yeah,
ADP, but yeah, I would say I feel good with 15 carries a game.
yeah,
You know, if it's more, then you should pat yourself on the back.
yeah, exactly. Because 15 carries a game, what is that? 15 times 17? That's 255 carries in a year. That's
You
a
should
hell of a
feel,
workload, dude.
yeah, you should feel good about that.
That is a hell of a workload. Let me see here. So yeah, that would be 15. I think you probably already did the calculations on that. So yeah, man. If I mean, I think 75% is pretty much the right. And he's to me, he's actually might be a better pass catcher than Cam Akers. So thank you for the question, Anthony. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, man. We really appreciate it. All
All
right,
right.
and then back to Alabama quarterbacks. Mac Jones has already passed Stidham, and Stidham needs surgery.
I saw that. Yeah, something happened to old Stidham.
Yeah,
Who cares?
I don't think
Sorry.
I don't think Mac Jones sees the field this year.
It's dude. Cam Newton's going to have to play a hell of a lot better. Now they got him some actual weapons. The defense should be a heck of a lot better. They had, I think they have the most COVID opt outs. The
Yes.
Patriots, that is. Yeah.
Yep.
So what so you legitimately think Cam Newton's going to start? Let's say 15 to 17.
Yeah, I think so. Here's my big thing. We've seen Josh McDaniels do a lot of stuff. We've seen him run a lot of offenses with a lot of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
We've also seen him do it with the GOAT. So here's my thought process.
That's bestiality. You can't do that.
So my thought process is I was talking about Tebow, by the way. Definitely not Brady.
Get out of here.
Did
you pick him up again? Haven't you picked him up like 3 times?
No. Oh, twice. But no. Here's the deal. He's going to install an offense that works for Cam Newton and Damian Harris and the tight ends that they got. I wouldn't, and I don't see him putting Mac Jones in a position where he needs to throw the ball, like we talked about with Tua a minute ago, into tight windows with poor receivers. I'm just going to say it. I really like hinging my bets on a Bill Belichick defense and a team with 2 super amazing tight ends, a running back we feel like we can trust, and Cam freaking Newton. Like I want to take the power approach all day long.
I'm not line up in power I.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable putting Mac Jones out there. I just don't see how you've given him an offense he can flourish in. So I like Cam to be there out of necessity.
Don't set him up for failure, basically.
Yeah.
So I think actually New England has. I want to say Vegas is saying they're going to win 9 games. I think that's their over under. What do you expect them to win 9 games or more?
I think if Belichick has all his toys, yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Bill is the defensive mastermind. I mean, he can keep it to a close game. Cam's just got to get he's got to take the opportunities he gets and get it done.
Yeah, I mean, there was some crazy stat out there that Dak threw only 800. I think it was I said this. Dak threw only 801 less passing yards than Cam Newton, and Dak only played 4.5 games.
Yeah, dude. So, yeah,
dude, I hate it though. If Cam, so agreed. I think Cam Newton gives the team the best chance to win. I hate it for Damian Harris. He has been kind of he's kind of been a Twitter or fantasy darling a little bit, but not talked about as much as some other, like Cam Akers was. I mean, right. Everybody was pushing him to the moon. I want to say I was first on that, but no, I'm just playing. But that would be rough for him. Cam Newton saw something like 77% of his teams of the Patriots rushes inside the 5-yard line, and he had 12 rushing touchdowns, something like that.
Yeah.
So Cam, that'd be great for his fantasy value,
right?
But for Damian Harris, that would suck a little.
Yeah, he's bit. Still an RB3 and 4.
Yeah, he would be, and with Mac Jones, I would say he's flirting with RB2 territory. He's flirting with that top 25-ish range there.
I don't doubt that'll happen, but I think they're going to get Mac Jones a few receivers before they expect too much out of him.
Yeah, I mean, Jacoby Myers and Nelson Aguilar do not inspire a lot of confidence for me.
No.
Not at all. And they paid Nelson Aguilar a lot of money. I was like, really? Like,
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I know they take guys and make them into something else,
sure.
but
That was also with Tom Brady.
yeah, they can sign. The good news is they can sign Kelvin Benjamin because the Giants just released him.
Dun dun dun. Nobody, no one saw that coming. Huh?
Mm-mm.
He,
How
he
you?
had a couple more Popeyes biscuits and turned to a tight end, like Booger had said. I got one right here, man. Dude, Booger was, I know it was like annoying and stuff sometimes, but he was entertaining, though.
He
He was
was.
funny as hell.
Yeah.
Von Miller hopes to play 5 to 7 more years in the NFL. That was my thought exactly.
Mm. I hope so. I always want to. Hey, no reason to hate. I hope he does.
You know what, Von Miller? I hope to have your athletic profile as well. We both have the exact same chance of that happening. I mean, he missed all of last year. Would he have an Achilles or
I have no idea what he went down with.
ACL? Let's hear your next one. I'm going to look that up real quick.
Well, the next one sucks because it's Michael Gallup tweaking his ankle.
Yeah, I saw. They said it's not a very serious thing, though.
Yeah, I'm reading well, Mike McCarthy doesn't think it's a long-term issue, but
God damn it! Who asked him anything?
yeah, why is he speaking on that?
It's just his name. You know what I mean? Like Mike McCarthy. That's somebody that I would buy car insurance from, rather than be my head coach. But anyway,
yeah. Well, and
I'm sorry, Mike, Mr. McCarthy.
After everything Rogers said today, I mean, kind of hard not to look at him in a different lens.
Oh man, did you see that? I sent you that video of the CD Lamb catch, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Nasty. So if anybody that's listening hasn't seen that yet, look up CD Lamb practice catch, 28 July 2021. He freaking skies up for a one hand in the corner of the end zone, skies up one handed, comes down with it. I mean, superb body control, insane hands. He that was like a OBJ type moment.
It was
against the Cowboys, mind you.
It was. Man, so in a week we got the Hall of Fame game.
Oh,
got the preseason creeping behind it. Folks at home, please watch the preseason this year. We didn't get one last year. Let's appreciate it when we get it. We got to watch the preseason this year. I don't care. Have a party. Put it on the background. If you don't care that much, we got to get it. We got to get it up. We need a preseason every year.
I'm actually going to a preseason game this year.
Where are you going?
I'm going up in Phoenix. I'm going up there, and they're actually playing the Cowboys on the 13th of August or something. Let me see here. I think it's the 13th. The 15th. So August 15th.
You're going to watch Dak sit down?
Hey, man, I've never been to an NFL game, so I'm really excited to go. And I've heard the Phoenix, like the stadium in Glendale is supposed to be super nice too. So I'll probably just have some beverages. And apparently my hotel, I'm going to be able to walk to the stadium. You might see me on national television just shit-faced, Jason.
I'm going to make sure. Let me know what day it is. I'm just going to stay home and just watch NFL Network all day.
It's going to be – I'm just going to have something that says #FantasyFriends. That's the sign that's going to be up there.
Yes, get a sign. You have to get a sign.
It's like it's a 1997 pro wrestling ring or something.
Yeah. Oh, so apparently the Bears offense will feature Cole Kmet early and often. Who knew?
Oh, thank goodness.
Mm-hmm. We've
been pounding the table for that kid since last year. Oh, well, I think it was when we did the NFC North preview.
It was.
I had said, hey, this kid, I mean, he could be number 2 in targets. He really could be. So look out for Cole Kmet. I'm telling you.
Oh, and as to be expected, Fitzpatrick and McLaurin already got a budding bromance. Looking good.
I love it. Dude, okay. What is the ceiling for Terry McLaurin in your mind in 2021?
A wide receiver 10.
Wide receiver 10. Okay. So the reason I ask is because he is being drafted I want to say he's being drafted as a wide receiver 10 or 11. Let me see here real quick.
Well, then I like it a lot.
10. So he's been drafted as wide receiver 10.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally
All
nailed it.
right.
So I'm like, I legit could see him finishing as like a top 5 wide receiver this year.
Yeah, I mean, it could happen.
All he has to do, like he's had terrible touchdown luck. All he has to do is catch, let's say he catches 7 touchdowns, sees 130 targets from Ryan Fitzpatrick, man. I, it gets me giddy. I don't like it because it's the Washington football team, but I really, really like Terry McLaurin, and he has people to take coverage away from him now too. Instead of his past 2 seasons in the NFL, he's been the only receiver for Washington. So now you bring in Curtis Samuel, you bring in De'Ami Brown, you still got Logan Thomas over there. Apparently, Antonio Gibson is going to get a whole bunch more targets. We'll see about that. But I think he has top 5 potential, man. I love Terry McLaurin.
Absolutely, and I like that they're getting along so well, both speaking on each other.
Yeah.
Okay, electrifying and exciting to watch. Chenault sets expectations for Jets offense.
I don't know how to think about Laviska Chenault.
I don't know anything. I really don't. I've always kind of wondered why people get so excited about him, but
yeah, I heard. I mean, he's obviously an athlete. He's an incredible athlete. But how many of these gadget players have actually been useful for fantasy? Percy Harvin?
Not really.
And he was always hurt.
Yep.
So I don't know. Oh, I'm here by myself now. Jason left me. But speaking of that, I just prefer traditional wide receivers more so than these gadget play type guys. I thought I was gonna have to do this whole show by myself, Jason.
No, for some reason it's always like right before an hour hits, my phone will just
you're good.
Reset. I don't know what it is.
It happened to me on somebody else's pod the other day. I said something and I raised my arms in like triumph and I just cut out. I was like, what the shit just happened?
But that was my last piece of news.
Heck yeah, man. I'm just kind of scrolling through right here real quick. The last thing I see, we will end it on one of the greatest players of all time, one of the nicest players of all time. Cliff Kingsbury, Cardinals prepared to play with or without Larry Fitzgerald. Does he retire? Should he retire?
No, he should never retire. Larry Fitzgerald is a golden gem.
He's a fucking prince.
We all love him. He should never retire. They should give him a job immediately on the sideline where he's an immediate camera direction at all times after he finishes playing. Larry Fitzgerald should stay around for as long as he absolutely can. We all love him. He is. He's just one of those guys. I hate to on the Rodgers thing again, but he's not just a locker room guy. He's an NFL character guy.
Yeah.
We all love Larry. So
more tackles than drops.
Crazy.
That's all I'm saying. No, man. Should he retire? I don't care, brother. This is your life, Larry, Mr. Fitzgerald. Excuse me, because I know he's watching right now. Mr. Fitzgerald, you retire when you feel like it. But as far as for fantasy goes, can you please retire so that we can just all the targets can go to DeAndre Hopkins for the sake of my dynasty team? No. Anyways, hey, this was actually really fun, Jason. I remember Jason and I were talking about this. We were like, oh man, I don't know. We were going to talk about the stories that are going on, but you were right, dude. There's so much stuff going on right now. It is peak. This is peak getting into the NFL right now.
Yeah, for everyone who watched, thank you so much. It was actually an experiment. We wanted to see if we just took the headlines that came out today and could fill the same amount of time that we would have studying away on what have you. So, it turns out with just the news alone today, you could cover an entire breakdown of a position in fantasy football.
Freaking sweet. Well, hey, appreciate everybody for tuning in. We're actually going to have this back out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that stuff as well. So we're going to have the audio version for you starting this episode from now on. I'm a little bit of a Luddite, which I think means I'm scared of technology. That's not entirely true. I just suck at technology, but we're going to get that stuff out to y'all. Jason, you got a kneel down for him at all? Anything weighing on?
That was kind of it. The kneel down was kind of it. Look,
Gotcha.
I'll go ahead and hit me with it.
All right. Let me find it. There it is.
Look, we could have taken this entire hour and broken down to you the real projections on every position or at every tight end in the NFL from 1 to 20, basically. We could have taken this hour and gave you all that. What we highlighted today is that when training camp gets open and the news starts pumping out there, this is the blood and we're the veins. All of us out here trying to preach on the NFL, all the way up to, the big dogs, ESPN, NFL Network. This is the lifeblood. The veins are pumping. In a week, Thursday Night Football. Let's go.
Oh, I mean, it can't end it any better than that. I mean, it was just phenomenal. And just for the record, too, like talking about like going through these things and talking about real life NFL stuff helps you as a fantasy player. So, sorry we didn't throw a bunch of stats or anything out there to you, but hopefully, we're entertained. Let's put it that way. Hopefully it's a little entertaining. Jason's right. 1 week. 1 week as of tomorrow. Oh, my goodness. Well, for Jason, for Cam, who couldn't be here, he says he's going to be on soon. I'm not sure if he's still alive. I don't know. I haven't seen him in person, so it may be someone working his account.
We think the Coyotes got him.
The Coyotes. He was out there on some peyote, and the Coyotes got him. But anyways, y'all be good, and we'll see you. And actually, we are changing to Tuesday. We're going to Tuesday night, same time, 9 p.m. Eastern, but we're going to go to Tuesday nights. It's just better. It works out better for all of us. I'm always thirsting for some fantasy. I want to talk about some fantasy earlier than Wednesday, so Tuesday just seemed like the natural spot. But please go ahead and follow us on YouTube, Fantasy Friends. We're on Twitter at Fantasy Friends. That's FRANDS. Same thing on Facebook, Fantasy Friends. Jason, you good?
I'm great.
You're still living strong? Are you living stronger?
Still living strong.
Let's go.
I don't like your Marvin Jones shit, but I'm still living strong.
On that note, y'all be good. Have a good night. We'll see you later.